10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4,
Ground
3,
control to Major
2,
Tom.
1. 2 hotheads on cannabis. That's THC. Welcome to our second show. I'm Steve Epstein, and with me is Mike Cann Crawford, and we are the 2 hotheads on cannabis. And I have a terrible echo in my headphones.
Yes, we might actually have to change you to another mic, Steve. I know we can hear some of the other mics clearly. This is Mike Cann.
What's up with Steve's mic?
We can't hear you either, Carm. We'll work on this, but we just heard from Eminem, the new song of his from the Recovery CD. Huge song. Love Eminem. We got a big show today. We're going to be talking about the possible new marijuana ordinance in Cambridge. Steve Epstein and myself attended the event, the hearing, the marijuana ordinance hearing at the Cambridge, Mass.
Oh, it was no big deal, Mike.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the next topic.
The police actually liked us. They were pretty nice to us, wouldn't you say, Steve? I think you charmed them in the end.
We'll talk about the details later, Mike.
All right, and we're also...
Let's get through all the leads you wanted to do.
You can take over on some of these leads, Steve. Why don't you talk about...
We'll be hearing from, later in the second hour, we'll be hearing from... I still have an echo using this microphone. Maybe these headphones. I don't know. But while I'm changing...
I'm still not hearing them. Steve, I'm not hearing you. I'm going to cut you off. I'm sorry.
Am I going out?
No, you're not. You put your headphones, see if you can hear it, because I can't hear it at all. We're going to be taking calls. We're going to be doing an election preview. We have Vic from the Force here. Steve, jump to another mic. One of those other mics. This mic works over here.
Maybe you'd like to come over here.
Yes.
No, I don't want to come over here.
You're going to have to. So anyway, Steve, we're already having issues with Steve. Steve doesn't want to move. We have several microphones. So
5 fucking microphones.
and 5, he's here. I don't know if you can hear him. This is great. You can't hear Steve Epstein. This is great. So we've turned all Steve's mics off, and we're going to be talking about we're going to be playing a little video clip from 50 Cent tonight. He talks about how the Fortune 500 profits on the war on drugs. And we're also going to do an interview, hopefully with Vic from the Force, about his big Halloween show. And we're also going to have a state rep who is running for election in Framingham, and good chance he could actually win the election in the sports legalization. We're going to bring Steve Epstein back. I guess we're turning his mic on after we made him run around.
Jim is not the incumbent. You can't call him a state rep. Yes, you did.
I said running for a state rep.
You called him a state rep.
I said running for a state rep.
You called him for a state rep. What we want to do is we want to hear from... While we're trying to play it back...
I want to put money on this. I think they turned my mic down. But
call us. Call us at 617
they just turned him up.
Yeah.
4122.
Can we
617-606-4122.
We got the number.
We want to hear from
Steve,
you.
can we make a wager?
This is 2 hotheads on cannabis, and all we talk about is cannabis.
We have
which
this
is why
on
we're
tape.
having Jim Pillsbury on, because Jim Pillsbury knows a lot about cannabis and about hemp. He is also a candidate for state representative in the 6th Middlesex District, which encompasses precincts in Framingham.
Pillsbury like the cookies?
Yes.
Just like the cookies or the dough or the flour company, but I'm not sure that they're related. What else we got to talk about? Well, we're going to have a little election preview as well. But remember, we're all about cannabis, so we're not going to talk about candidates, other physicians, unless they're Nazis, in which case we'd let you know that they'll let you smoke pot, but they want to kill everybody who doesn't agree with them. So...
Bent over is a good position, too.
With that said,
did you ask?
You wanted to play...
Who made this rule that we can't talk about candidates? Who made this rule, Steve?
What rules? Well, a couple of things we need to tell callers, though, because I noticed this last week. You wanted to go over last week's show.
We're going to play the call from last week.
We will. I understand you're going to...
Who made the rule? I want to know who made the rule.
We're 2 hotheads on cannabis. This isn't about anything else but cannabis. So let's please not talk about that or this or that other thing over there. Or
let's talk about weed.
Our producers are calling us. Let's run the clip. We're going to run the clip of Steve talking about this. That's where we're going. Steve Epstein last week, our first caller, Mama Mojo. I got a lot of emails and messages about this one.
Mama Mojo. I understand this, but this show is about THC. It is not about one-payer health care. It is not about changing the time to be angry, but, we are Hotheads on Cannabis, and this show is about cannabis. It's not about the Green Rainbow Party.
That was it. That was our first call.
But we also learned later in the show that callers, we know you want to hear yourselves on
unregulated. Is that what you were calling it last week? Unregulated?
Unregulated. Well, we are unregulated because we could swear. We could say the words that George Carlin couldn't say. But before that, please turn your radios or turn your listening device down when you're on the air, because it creates an echo. It makes it harder for you to follow, because although we don't really have a significant time delay, it is enough to drive you crazy, because it drove us crazy in the studio. So we're hoping you will call us at 617-606-4122. I like the idea last week when we talked about getting high with your kids. Of course, Michael doesn't have any kids.
I have a stepson.
Well,
so you know what?
It's a little different.
And yeah. So I can talk about it.
It's a little different.
It is a little different.
You can talk about it, but we'd like to hear from you, our listeners. Because let's face it, this is talk radio, and Michael and I can talk to each other. We do that more than sometimes I'd care to do, and I'm sure he feels the same way at times.
I see EPEGs comes up on my phone, and I'm like, oh.
As he's fiddling around with this video, trying to get me on video, but not himself. How about we turn it around on you for a little bit?
Well, you're gonna have to let me speak then.
Okay. Go ahead. Talk away.
Actually, I think we're going to be going up to some music, and I know we got some Dickie Barrett coming up, which I think this is an exclusive to Unregular Radio. I know that there is one other station, one other show out there in Boston that plays it, and we want to thank Carmelita for getting us this song. So thank you, Carmelita, for, Dickie Barrett's someone I used to go see, the Bosstones, love them.
Who the hell's Carmelita?
Carmelita.
I am.
Oh, I thought you were Terry.
No.
Oh.
No. We're going to have to boot Steve.
The producer lady. Now Steve's in trouble.
And but the Dickie Barrett song is with the Scissor Man, and Dickie Barrett's he sat in the studio with them.
Yes. So the Scissor Men, we're going to be playing
is this song
Whiskey
about
and Mary
cannabis?
Jane.
All right.
It's about two things.
It's Whiskey and Mary Jane about cannabis.
Well, what kind of whiskey is it about?
Oh, we don't know. We'll find out.
Fleischmann's.
It's the good what kind do you like to drink, Steve?
Scotch, and she's got to be of age in Massachusetts.
Yes, definitely. So we'll be doing that.
Even better of age in California.
We want some calls. Why aren't people calling in this week? See, are we getting calls? Last week we had calls by now. 617.
The phones might be like the mics or something.
606-4122. Call us, and we might start offering prizes for the people that get shouted down by Epstein.
If you can't get through on 617-606-4122, because we are having technical difficulties that we don't know about, and Mike's or my cell phones, call them. We'll turn them over so that we can see them flashing, because we're not going to let them ring during the show, are we, Mike?
No, mine's turned off right now. I might just to shut you down and make you. If the show gets boring, I might actually let it go off and see what happens.
Well, how could the show get boring?
Yeah.
But why don't we want to talk about the Cambridge hearings. The Cambridge hearings were interesting. They were nice people.
They were. I like the city councilors, Eugene Chung, I think I'm saying his name right.
And Councilor Simmons.
Simmons was awesome. Denise Simmons. I even like the police officers. I didn't agree with what they were saying. I thought that they weren't presenting enough information, and the information that they presented was stilted to favor their.
Yeah, well, you come to a hearing that's been scheduled for a couple of weeks, and you come forward with your figures of how many citations you've written since marijuana was decriminalized.
But it's less than the arrest.
But they don't bring the arrest figures for 2008.
And everybody, the city councilor, Eugene Chung, asked the questions. He was asking great questions, and he was basically saying, where are the other numbers? Show me more numbers. Show me more information. And it's exactly those are the things that need to be asked. So it's good.
Okay, Whiskey and Mary Jane.
I think we're gonna play it. Is that
Yeah,
what we're
we
gonna
should
Actually,
play
I think we have 2 songs coming up, right? We have one DEA by the Freeze, Old School, and then we're gonna play Whiskey
Which
and
would
Mary
you like
Jane.
first?
Which one do you want to hear, Steve?
I want Whiskey and Mary Jane.
Yeah.
We kick.
And then we're gonna hear from Vic
Barrett.
from
We
the
gotta hear
Force.
Dickie. And then Vic from the Force.